Okay, good morning and welcome back to Intro to Statistics. So this morning we are going to be talking about area under the normal curve. Okay, we're going to be using our calculators to generate these areas because the actual function is not something that I show you guys anymore. Be happy to do it if somebody has a question about it, but it's ugly. Okay, so there we have. Let me see if I can clean this up a little bit. Okay, so let me show you what's going on here. They want to know what the area between they want to know the probability up to negative 2.52. Okay, now the book is going to explain it one way, and I don't mind if you use the book method. That's fine. Okay, but you don't actually have to go through and do it this way. So if you remember back to like chapter 2-ish, we had the empirical rule, and pretty much anything that was outside of -3 standard deviations, right, or +3 standard deviations, we said that was almost all the data was contained within this. So when I say a large number, you have to understand that it's large in relationship to -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So a large number is 10. Okay, that's 10 standard deviations out. That's actually quite a lot, okay, for this kind of a curve. So when we get to the next section, big is going to be relative, but pretty much what we're doing is we're figuring out how many standard deviations away we are. We're going to use that to figure out our probabilities. And again, the calculator is going to do the heavy lifting on all of this. We are not responsible for doing this. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to get the calculator out and we're going to go through and we're going to get our normal distribution. Okay, we're going to do normal CDF. Okay, it's always going to be CDF because it's a cumulative amount. We want this area up to, okay, this specific spot. Okay, this is negative 2.74. I think that's what the problem is asking us. 2.52, sorry, 2.52. Negative 2.52. So what I want is this shaded region here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our calculator and we're going to say, okay, we need distributions. So second function, distributions. We can turn it on first. I guess that would help. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to do normal CDF. Okay, that's just the second one down there. Okay, and now what we're going to say is they want a min, a max, a mean, a standard deviation. So they want the min, max, this is the x value. Okay, mean and standard deviation. Okay, for 7.1, the mean is always 0, and the standard deviation is always 1. This is for 7.1. For 7.2, that's going to change. Now, they're going to say their min is going to be negative infinity. Okay, like, well, how do you write that down on a calculator? They said -1 e to the 99. That's -1 with 99 zeros next to it. That's a big negative number. That's like national debt size or negative number. Okay, all you need is a big negative number. And remember, big relative to what? Big relative to -3. Okay, -100 is a big number. If you can only reach 3 feet, asking you if I can say, okay, well, you can jump 3 feet. If I ask you to jump 100 feet, like I might as well ask you to jump to Mars. It doesn't matter. Okay. So if you can only jump 3 feet, but I say you have to jump 100 to get through this, like that's not, that 3 feet is already a big number. Asking you to jump 10 feet is already impossible. Asking you to jump to Mars, that's just as impossible to ask you to jump 10 feet. So I usually abbreviate the min number. So I'll usually say like -100, -10 would be fine. And then we're going to go up to, what are we going up to? We're going up to -2.52. Our mean is 0, our standard deviation is 1. That's what we're going to type in. Okay, so we're going to say -100, okay, comma, negative, what is this, 2.52. That's what they want, 2.52, comma, 0, comma, 1. Okay, that's our mean and standard deviation. And again, with a TI-84, I think they guide you through this, but with the TI-83, you kind of have to know. So you don't need this -1 E99. Okay, that's, by the way, it's second function this button, second function EE. Okay, it's not numeric, it's not alpha with the E here. Its second function, this guy right here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and type that in. Okay, but just to double check us, okay, what I'm going to do is say, okay, second function distributions, right, and normal CDF, okay, and I'm going to put in -1 second function, this EE 99, okay, and again, it's a negative number that's a big negative number relative to what the mean and the standard deviations are. Okay, in this case, the mean is 0, standard deviation is 1. So we have steps of 1. So a big number relative to 3 is 100. Okay, this is asking you to go to Pluto. Okay, and then again, comma, what are we going up to? We're going up to -2.52. 2.52. Are we going to get a different answer? Yeah, we are. How different is it going to be? Well, somewhere we're not going to be able to see the difference. Okay, so I'll go ahead and type that in, and then, well, okay, we go up a little bit. So what was our first number? Our first number was 0.05867. This is 0.05867. So somewhere out here in like the 100th decimal place, it will be different. They ain't going to ask you for 100th decimal place. Okay, at best they're going to ask you for 4. Okay, that's the typical rule of thumb, is 4 decimal places. Okay, because in the 20th century, we would do this with tables. They would always be listed out to 4 decimal places. That's just what we do. Okay, so we're still living in a, like Back to the Future kind of a world. Okay, so we're going to say this is 00. I don't know, they want 4 significant digits or 4 decimals. I think they want 4 decimals. So 00, we're going to say 59. So this is going to be 0.0059. That's what this area is, 0.0059. Okay, we'll go ahead and enter that into the computer here. So we're going to say 0.0059. Okay, that's this area that's from -infinity all the way up to -2.52. It's also from -10 all the way up to -2.52. Okay, so we're not going to ask you to do that kind of accuracy where you would need to waste your time typing in this digit here for your min. You don't have to do that. Just pick something that's relatively large. Okay, I picked -100. You want to pick -500? You go right ahead. All right, and it'll still work. They just want a big number comparison. Okay, so let's say check. Right, we got the green dot. Say hello. Okay, parts 2 to 4, shaded region. We're going to go from 0.61 all the way off to infinity. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to take this one, right? We're going to get 0.61, and we want all the way off to infinity. So again, I need a big number relative to 3. Okay, so we're going to say norm CDF. In this case, my minimum number was 0.61, because remember the first one, I went from -infinity up to 2.52, -2.52. Now I'm going from 0.61 up to infinity and beyond. Okay, and again, I'll just type in 100. Okay, 0, 1, because in 7.1, the mean and the standard deviation for standard normal is always 0, 1. Okay, so we just need a big number relative to 0, 1, 2, and 3. 100. Like again, if you can only jump 1 foot off the ground, and I ask you to jump 100 feet, like it might as well be 1,000. You're never going to make it. It's not going to, you're not going to pass that test. Okay, you're not going to pass the jump over. If you're able to get, like for me, it's like I can't do 1 pull-up. You say, okay, in order to be able to pass this test, you have to do 100 pull-ups. Like you're asking for the impossible. It can't happen. Like, I could do 1 if I'm lucky. Okay, so we're going to type this out. We're going to say distribution. Okay, again, norm CDF. It's almost all of it, because for continuous distributions, we almost always want a collection. We want an area. We want a region. Okay, and we're going to say 0.61 here, 0.61, comma, infinity, 100. Okay, and then 0, 1. Okay, type that in, and we got, this tells the top part of this. This is 0.2709, so this is 0.2709. 0.279. Okay, so if I was going to make this area here, this would be 0.2709. That's what this would be here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and type that in. 9. Okay, check. Right, we got our dot, and then we'll go on to the next one. Okay, this used to be a really hard problem because we'd have to look up two different numbers on our table and subtract and do all of that work. It is actually easier for you guys because you don't have to think about what's a big number. They tell you they want it between negative 2.48, okay, and negative 0.58. So they just want this little trapezoid here. Okay, that's what the area they want is this part in here. It's all they want. Negative 2.48 to negative 0.58. Okay, so that's all they want. So my low number and my high number, they give it to us. Okay, so this used to be a tough problem, but not for you guys. Okay, they're a little bit better. They're a little bit more advanced now. Okay, again, the mean is still 0. Standard deviation is still 1. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're just getting this information. And again, we're going to go to distribution, norm, CDF, because we want a collection. We want this region, all this collection of numbers in here. And we're just going to enter that. We want the low number, negative 2.48. So we're going to say negative 2.48, comma. Okay, positive negative 0.58. So we want negative 0.58. They're both negative. That's fine. They're not going to care. Okay, and then 0 to 1 is our standard deviation. Okay, and again, I think a T84 kind of guides you through this. If you're T83, please practice. Okay, go to the library, check out a T83 and practice this operations with this calculator. Okay, and we'll hit enter. We got what is this? 2744, 2.2744, 0.2744. Okay, 0.2744. Okay, so 0.2744. Okay, there we go. Check that one. Okay, we got our green dot and we're ready to move on. Okay, and now they say, oh, look at this. There's a couple of ways to do this. Okay, so we want from negative infinity up to negative 0.33. So we want all of this. And we want from 2.18 up to positive infinity. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say this is going to be norm CDF, and we're going to go from negative 100 up to, what did we get? Negative 0.33, negative 0.3301 plus norm CDF from, and now we want the positive part of this. We want the, what is this, 2.18 to a really big positive number. We'll say 100. Okay, and again, like I can't do one pull-up. Asking me to do 2 is impossible. Asking me to do 100 is like, yeah, there's no way it's not going to happen. Okay, so we've got that, and then we're just going to add these two numbers together. Okay, or you ready for the fancy way? We're going to say, well, we want these two areas, but we don't want this middle area. So I'm going to say the whole thing has to add up to 1. 1 minus norm CDF, and let me change my color here. And what I want to do is I want to subtract out the red area. Okay, so we're going to subtract out negative, this is 0.33, and my biggest number is 2.1801. Okay, and that'll give me an answer. So let me go ahead and demonstrate all 3 of these for you. I'm sorry, it's going to take a little bit long. I'm not going to write them down. I'm just going to put them in the calculator and let that keep track. Okay, so I'm going to say I want second function distribution. I want norm CDF. Okay, and we're going to say negative 100, comma, and then this was negative 0.33, negative 0.33, comma, 0, comma 1, okay, plus norm CDF, okay, okay, so plus we're adding up another one. Like I said, this used to be a hard problem. So what still is? Okay, that's fair. 2.18, 2.18. You know, we have to pick a big number, right? That was going up to we're going to say 100, right? And then 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, so we are adding up two pieces of our normal distribution here. Okay, we're going to get an answer. We got 0.385. We'll call that 0.3853. 0.3853. 3853. And now we're going to try it the other way. Okay, 1. Oops, not that. I want 1 minus norm distribution, norm CDF. Okay, and then we're going to type in negative 0.33, 0.33, comma, we're going up to 2.18, 2.18. These were just chosen because they picked the number. They didn't. It'd be nice if I typed in the right ones there, right? 2.18. Okay, and then we have 0. Okay, enter, and look at that, 0.385. We'll say 0.3853. Okay, because this is a 2, so it's not going to round. So that's going to be 0.3853. Which one is right? They both are. It's up to you to decide how you want to do this. Okay, so this was 0.3853, and that's all we have to do with that. Okay, it's completely up to you as to which way you want to go. Whichever way it feels right to you, pick that way. Okay, we got our little green dot and we're ready to go on. So thank you for tuning into this one. Again, the more practice you get with this, the easier it will get. I promise you, it does get easier. But we'll do quite a few more. Okay, thank you, and I will see you in the next video.